Hi, everybody. What's up? I'm DJ Sixsmith. Welcome to the Sit Down. The one and only Steve-O here with us. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. All things considered, making my way through. And the good news is you got some good stuff for us to laugh to these days. So why don't we talk about your new comedy special, Gnarly? How did this whole thing come together?
Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I have been doing a comedy tour for 10 full years now. And when I started putting together the act for my second comedy special, I got really excited about having it be a multimedia ordeal where the stories that I tell, as absurd as they are, have footage edited into it to illustrate them, which I don't think has ever been done. I was so excited about it, and it just came together fantastically well. And I used it as license to find a home for super explicit stuff, and I got the whole Jackass gang together again. So grateful for that, and they did all this crazy stuff with me. So the finished product plays like part Jackass movie, part documentary, part stand-up comedy special, and it's just this whole thing I'm so excited about. And I put it out on my own website, steveo.com. And of course, to let the world know about it, I hired a construction team to figure out how to tape me to a billboard, which I rented.
How long were you on that billboard for, by the way?
Roughly 2 hours. I was up there for almost an hour and a half without anybody even seeming to care about it. I was terrified. I was like, wait a second, maybe nobody's going to pay attention to me. That would be awful. And then sure enough, I showed up on what's called the Citizen app, and just apparently went crazy viral on there. I think that there were some 700,000 views of man duct taped to billboard on the Citizen app. And once that happened, people really started showing up. There were hundreds of people there, and then there were cops, and then there were firefighters. And I was really pretty sure that we wouldn't need any help. I mean, we didn't need any help. We had a construction team I was harnessed on. We had 2 cranes, which we kept on the scene to get me down ourselves so that we wouldn't have any, wasted resources for the city. And my team was there. So when the first responders showed up, they went, straight to them and said, hey, this is all, under control. It's totally professional. It's rigged. He's in a harness. It's safe. And we have our own cranes. We can get him down ourselves. But the fire department apparently, they said that they had to be the ones to pull me down. So, while it was great that it happened quickly and, everybody got on with their day, I was genuinely upset to see the fire department wasting their time pulling me off of a billboard. So what I did was I took a particularly magnificent photo of me on the billboard, and I made 1,000 8x10 prints of it, signed every single one by hand, and then sold them all on my website to raise money for the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation. And I did that, and then I matched the $25,000 that brought in with a $25,000 donation of my own. So there's a total $50,000 donation hitting the bank account of the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation this afternoon. Wow. And I've got this gaudy, oversized check that I'm going to go deliver in person to take a photo with. That made me feel better because while as publicity stunts go, it was wildly successful. The one real flaw in it was the involvement of the fire department, and that really tainted what was otherwise just a fun gag. And so it was important to me to do something to give back.
Well, first of all, super creative idea. Secondly, the fact that you gave back is really awesome too. But most importantly, what were the views like up there for all that time? What were you able to see that you've never seen before?
I don't know that I saw too much that I'd never seen from up there, but But what I had never seen was an article about me in Vanity Fair online. I mean, dude, in the 48 hours following this stunt, there were articles posted by Vanity Fair, Variety, Rolling Stone, I mean, TMZ, BuzzFeed, Deadline, Extra, E! Online, People, USA Today, CNN, Fox. Like, I mean, it was pretty remarkable how much exposure that billboard got, and I love that. And again, you know, it was just really upset me that that the fire department got involved. So it was important to me to do what I did. And now, having done that, I really feel pretty good about 100% of the situation. It was fantastic, and a lot of people got to find out about my gnarly comedy special.
I mean, the other thing is too, you've done some pretty crazy things in your life. Like, just being strapped to a billboard probably wasn't that bad compared to all the stuff you've done in previous years, right?
I mean, it was the safest thing I've ever done.
You don't usually have that harness. I mean, the harness is a whole nice situation.
Right. Yeah, it was very, very safe, and you know, super professionally executed. But yeah, man, I mean, I was excited about it. It was definitely a cool idea.
That's awesome. So when you were putting your special together, obviously you knew these stories for a long time, but when you're going back and watching footage, what was it like just looking at some of the stuff in a different way and just kind of reliving the whole ride for you?
I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the footage. I don't think there were really any surprises in you know, putting it all together after the fact. I knew what the archival stuff was, but what I found in putting it together was that I felt that it representing this trip down memory lane, while it was nostalgic, it felt a little bit on the depressing side to be regaling the past, you know? And so I got very motivated to film like new crazy stuff. And then I structured it so that as the act unfolds, each bit in the act inspires a new over the top and crazy stunt. So there's like an old story, a new stunt, and then it plays like that throughout to keep it all fresh and current and filled with new stuff. So that was exciting for me.
And I'm sure it's a difficult situation because you and the Jackass guys did so many great things in the past. And trying to top that here in the present is not always an easy thing. But being creative and just trying to figure out a new way to do it, like just the comedy special alone is like a new little wrinkle on something that's already been there. So I give you a ton of credit for that.
Well, thank you. And raising the bar wasn't easy. In order to do that, I actually ended up in surgery having skin grafts on 15% of my body.
Wow.
But the bar was raised.
Well, what caused that? I mean, how the heck does that happen?
It was something that I did actually right here in this living room. You know, I blew up the living room with me in it. And the motivation for doing that was that I found love, and I didn't want my house to look like the bachelor pad that it had been for so long. I wanted to redecorate everything. And so I started by blowing up the living room, which forced us to repaint and redecorate. And in the process of blowing up the living room with me in it, I got third-degree burns on 15% of my body.
Wow. I mean, the rebuild looks great in the background there. I'll give you that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was motivated by love, and I'm not even complaining because my worst injuries have like ultimately provided the best footage, I kind of think.
Yeah, how do you think about that in your mind? Because your body and your mind has been through some insane stuff, but they provided content and entertainment. So How do you think about that even today, all these years after doing it?
The fact that I don't really have any permanent debilitating injuries, you know, I'm in relatively good shape, you know, especially for a guy who's 46 years old. So I think I've been fortunate. If I was in some kind of permanently compromised position, I would probably think differently. But the way things have gone, my only real regret is that I didn't do more. You know, people ask me, is there a stunt that you regret? And my answer is always, I regret that I didn't do more, because there were times when I didn't dig deep enough. I didn't go all out, and I didn't get the footage.
Well, at least you're still here to tell those stories. I think that's most important, right?
Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
How about before all this stuff happened in your life? Like, take me back, before Jackass and everything else. Like, who were you? What were you into? And what did you think your life was going to look like before this all blew up?
Before Jackass, I was a circus clown. I was a graduate of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College. And I worked at a circus called the Hannaford Family Circus, which didn't travel. It was at the world's largest flea market in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I think had Jackass not happened, I would have been, I don't know. I mean, I'm a persistent guy. I don't think I ever would have given up until some kind of big thing happened. And I can't believe that 20 years after Jackass came out, it'll be 20 years on October 1st, that the 20th anniversary of the first episode premiering on MTV. And to imagine that 2 decades have gone by and I'm still getting away with it, still having a career and even thriving, let alone in a pandemic. I'm just profoundly grateful for what I've been able to do.
When did you realize you guys had something special with this? Because not only does it become a show, it becomes this international sensation. You're doing movies. Like, when do you really realize, okay, we got the goods here?
As soon as it came out on MTV, it was pretty much an overnight success. It was not only an overnight success, it was immediately the highest ratings that MTV had ever had for any programming of its kind. I mean, certainly like the VMAs, like the big gala award shows would garner more eyeballs. But as far as half an hour shows with that low of a budget, there was nothing that had ever happened, you know, with that level of success. And then the Osbournes came along and beat us.
Well, I mean, they're in a class of their own. So, I mean, if you can go mano-a-mano there, it's not bad company to be in.
Right, but we went to such absurd lengths, just put ourselves in harm's way. I mean, we really, really did some outrageous stuff. And then they beat us, you know, hanging out in their living room.
When you put it like that, it's truly ridiculous. Like, you guys are literally laying your lives on the line and they're just talking about their family.
Right. And that's by no means a dig at them. I'm such a huge fan of the Osbournes. I just think it's funny.
I would agree with you on that. Is there a situation you can think about where you're like, I can't believe my career has taken me to this country or to hang out with these people? Like, just give me a few stories that you're just like, I can't believe my life turned out this way because of what I'm doing.
I lost count of how many countries I've performed in before live audiences, but I believe it's upwards of 30 different countries. I mean, the things that I've been able to do in my career, I just don't even know where to begin. I've had a lot of life experience, man.
I mean, for your 40 plus years, it's like a whole lifetime compared to some other people.
Right. Yeah. And I've lived multiple lives, I feel like, in my 46 years. You know, it's really pretty crazy.
Can you envision a life that's separate from the performing, the comedy, the stunts, or is that just something that will always course through you?
You know, what drives me in everything that I've ever done is the fact that I'm through and through an attention whore. You know, I'm just at the core of my being, I'm the ultimate attention whore. And that just drives everything that I do. So I can't imagine a life really any different than the one I lead.
Well, we appreciate the entertainment. Steve-O, thanks so much, man. Everybody will check out your new special, Gnarly, steve-o.com. Have a good one, man. All right.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate your time.